While Starmer and his cronies are fighting over the welfare reforms in Parliament, one thing is clear to me, and that is perhaps the whole thing in its entirety has been poorly managed from the onset, and really it's not fair that people in genuine need are the ones that are going to be made to suffer when they try and tidy their own house. One of the areas that's come up in the news is that of the mobility scheme, where people with certain disabilities and certain ailments can qualify for a car. Now, there's some really crazy news I want to give you, and also a little bit of inside information, so stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome back. Yes, welfare has been in the news for quite a while, and this has been the subject of this massive rebellion that Starmer has ended up suffering. Whether it finishes him or not in his entirety remains to be seen, but that's a subject for another video. What I want to concentrate on is cars. This seems to be the bone of contention. My friends over at Dynamic Duo done a fairly good video on the whole premise of what qualifies you for a Motability car and the financial side of it, in that you have to, in a lot of cases, put down a sizable deposit before you get the thing. No easy feat for people with disabilities. Now, there is a list here which so some of these really get to me. ADHD or ADD, alcohol misuse, anxiety and depressive disorders. And they have numbers next to these as well. You can go and find them out. Anxiety disorders, back pain, constipation, depressive disorder, elbow disorders, including tennis elbow, of all things, obesity, OCD, phobias, usually social phobias, some kind of allergy that gives you a risk of anaphylaxis, failure to thrive, or a food intolerance. Now, these are all a list of ailments or supposed disabilities that have been added, which qualifies you for the mobility scheme. Now, it's no wonder that people are demonising this, because when you look at that list, there's a high percentage of those that can either get better in time, get better with rest, or get better with treatment and be completely eradicated. So what happens to that shiny new car then? Well, I received this email, and I want to read it to you. It's interesting. And it's from a regular subscriber of the channel. I won't say his real name, but for the sake of this, we'll call him Jim. Anyway, Andy, further to your expose regarding Motability vehicles, let me add to your knowledge. I'm always up for that. If you are over retirement age, you cannot qualify for PIP due to age. Ridiculous to me, as that's will be when you need assistance. I already knew that, speaking to a friend of mine. When you get to retirement age, PIP is then replaced with the pension, I think, but correct me if I'm wrong. PIP comes in two rates, a lower rate and a higher rate. The higher rate is the one that qualifies for a mobility vehicle. There is, I believe, 3.5 million that qualify for PIP. Approximately 1.3 million qualify for the higher rate. Now, he sent me this email yesterday, Sunday. There are approximately 850,000 mobility vehicles on the scheme. Not all PIP recipients have a vehicle and use the money instead for personal use. These numbers were correct a few months ago when I checked, but they may have changed. This is his qualifications. I was a car salesman selling new used cars for 25 years and mobility cars for approximately 15 years. The great majority of cars are supplied and cared for by the majority of users, but over the years, I've seen many cases of cars wrecked internally and externally. I've seen cars that I know have been clocked. A few people abuse the vehicles, generally the drivers, not the customers. I have had cars confiscated due to family members using them as minicabs and delivery vehicles. The real problem is that years ago, only physically impaired people received vehicles. That's physically impaired. And as you remember, a lot of those ailments I read out to you are ones that can get better or get get completely done away with time. Over the years, the government and DWP have added on more and more ailments. As you know, anything considered a benefit or free, the scallywags move in. They need to start changing the qualification for PIP assessments. I am of the opinion many people will switch to DWP PIP payments to massage the true unemployment figures in the past. Just my thoughts on the matter. Don't get him for that. That's obviously his opinion. But one of the things that jumps out at this are too many ailments that can be cured, can be sorted out, qualifying you unnecessarily for the mobility scheme. Who knows? And it's information like that which makes you wonder why the whole thing's being demonised as it is. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate it very much. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Have a check out of this video that's just popped up here. As always, I look forward to talking to you soon. Toodaloo.